Hello, everybody, and welcome to an extra little segment of content we get to do. It'll be a little profile tonight. So myself and Colin talking with Zach, and he's actually going to be asking us questions about everything XP related.
Yeah, absolutely. Glassman, Twinsalty, how's it going tonight, guys?
It's going good.
Going good, man. Going good.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, well, super excited about this, and let's just jump right into it. First question I wanted to ask you guys, of course, Twinsalty, we've known you for over a year now as, the voice of XPL Franklin, caster, coach for all of our Overwatch teams and now our Rocket League teams. And then Glassman, been, the star of the Shogun for at least a year now, maybe
Almost
a little bit longer than a year.
Yeah, year and a half.
For as DPS for the Franklin Shogun. So let's just jump right into it, and we'll get some interesting perspective from two of you guys who have that coach caster player caster combo. So first question for you guys is, how long have you guys worked as a casting duo together now?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when I joined middle of November 2021. At that point, he just started, I believe, casting the Silver League games. So I don't think we started casting together until the new year. I don't believe.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So I joined November 2020, and then yeah. So and then from there on, we started casting together. I think January of 2021. So just a little over a year. It's crazy to think it's already been a year of casting together, but I wouldn't have changed it for anything.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So for both of you guys, what was it that initially got you guys into casting? I know Twinsalty, you kind of done this, at a collegiate level for a while, but kind of talk about, what was it that drew you to, shoutcasting, and then Glassman, you too, going from the player side of things. What was it about streaming and casting that drew you in?
You can go first.
Okay. So I've been told. I don't remember this. I've been casting since I was tiny. Like I used to do it with little football guys, like little toys. And apparently I like hear something on the big TV and I like copy it into my game, even if it didn't actually happen. And I've just been always like in like old EA Sports games, like the old college football games or even NHL games. Like I'd always cast those, even though I wasn't very good at it. And eventually, I remember seeing Overwatch League and thinking that's awesome. And then when I joined the league, I'm like, Jeff said we need casters, and I'm like, I've been casting for such a long time, and I love Overwatch, so why not give it a try? And the first time I casted, I was so nervous. You can go look back at that VOD. It was one of the
I remember that VOD.
It's one of the first videos. I was clueless, but it was so much fun now to be a part of it and see how much I've improved.
I guess for me, I did collegiate short. I started casting I think it was September, October of 2020 when I first joined ASU. When ASU joined the PAC-U conference, like all the Pac-12 schools had like a little esports organization that they were doing scrimmages in. I'm like, why not? I threw my name in, kind of the same as him. It's like I watched a lot of Overwatch League. My friends got me into esports during high school, so I'm like, why not? I'll try it out, see if I enjoy it. And I loved it. I fell in love with it during PAC-U, and then, yeah, just from there, joined XPL Franklin off of a unpaid opportunity post on a Discord server, thinking, it'd be some work to keep myself busy for a little bit, and then as soon as I figured out, like, what was actually going on, I got addicted to it, and that's the story since.
Yeah, it's definitely been a rabbit hole for you, I would guess. Seeing that one Discord posting and now, knowing how deep you've gotten involved in everyone's lives here at XPL Franklin, and now you're here in Franklin, filming this content with us. So it's been a fun ride. So of course, that has been a very long year full of crazy XP League Franklin moments and XP League moments in general. So my next question to you guys is: do you have one specific game or moment, from all those months of working together that sticks out? Being a caster in some of these games.
That's hard.
I'll let you go first.
Okay, so I have two XBL Franklin casting moments. One is with Colin, one is not, and I'll get to why. So the one with Colin, it probably has to be throughout regionals, the Nomads run through lower bracket. because him and I were just like, we were into every single game. They were very close. And him and I were we were on the money that week as well. We're just on the money with the exchanges, everything going on. I would say also a second best would probably be 2 days ago, honestly. Like, that was probably one of the best days we've had in a very long time just because our exchanges were like that and they were perfect. My other one probably has to be NAF when I got to cast the NAF, casting the Shogun play. Oh, I just yanked Colin's earbud out. But I got to cast the Shogun play at the end of day one for NAF, and that was just like, being able to cast the kids you cast all the time and you coach all the time when they're actually playing on stage in that kind of forum, it was one of the best moments of my life, especially because they won and some of them waited for me to get done with the broadcast to celebrate with me. It was great.
I think as a caster, for me, I always loved casting the Knights Magic games. And I don't know which one it was.
You're thinking like a championship game?
There's so many championship games and just like middle of the season games. I remember there was one time where Ella got like a 6K Diva Bomb, kind of with the shatter. Those games were always so much fun to cast, and it happened every season. I mean, it's just again and again, and it was always very interesting to see how those games would go, and it was just always so much fun to cast those.
Yeah, two really, really evenly matched teams, those old Silver Franklin Magic, Franklin Knights teams. Yeah, that definitely makes me feel nostalgic for the good old days of 2021 before, we had 5 Overwatch teams and 4 gold teams. So yeah, those are really awesome memories. So from all those experiences and from all those great moments, talk just a little bit, guys, about what it's been like being kind of split in your responsibilities. Twinsalty being that caster who's become one of our coaches for our Overwatch teams, and then Glassman having been a player transitioning to one of our key shoutcasters. What is it like having had to play that kind of dual role?
You want to go first?
Sure. I mean, it's definitely been I don't want to say difficult, a challenge sometimes, because sometimes you don't get any practice because of how games go, but it's always been fun being a shoutcaster. I love shoutcasting, and I love playing too. Like, of the two, I would pick playing because it's always important to me to be able to try and play for something that matters, but I'll cast anytime I'm open and free. And with XP League, it's been just great to have all the opportunities to be a player and a caster, and it's something that I absolutely love doing.
See, for me, it was... When I first joined, it was just a cast. It was just a cast doing 1 or 2 games a week. Oh, and then I fell in love with... I talked to the Shogun back then a lot. Started talking to Nomads a lot, and then once NAF happened, that seemed to be like the ultra boost of, alright, I'm now like talking with everybody, I'm helping the schedule. I work with you now like almost every day with things.
Yep.
So when I'm casting, you want to try and be unbiased, but you're going to be a little biased because it is the kids you work with on an everyday basis. You know them. Honestly, the hardest part for me initially was getting everybody's names, because that was something I've always strived myself for, is like, I'm going to know each and every one of these kids' names, and I'm not going to call them their in-game names. I think that's cool, especially with being youth. The parents are going to understand what's going on better. And I think at this point, like, I have it just memorized. I know exactly who's who, except for the few new ones that we've had. But it's definitely weird, because you got to turn from coaching mindset to a casting mindset. And sometimes it's hard to kind of go back and forth when maybe I'm casting a map, and then we go to break. I'm maybe hopping into the other call for a minute, like, hey, we're doing this well, we're not doing this well, and then I'm hopping back into the casting mode. I think it's been a little interesting, but especially with now casting Rocket League as well, it's been really fun to get to know everything better and kind of mess with those different sides of my brain a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, you guys have gotten to know, from shoutcasting, a lot of players and people that you wouldn't have gotten to know otherwise, having just been, a coach or just been a player. So kind of expanding upon that, who, if any, is your favorite individual player or team to shoutcast for?
That's hard.
Or to have in one of your games? It could be XP League Franklin team, or non-Franklin, anyone in the league?
I would probably have to say I still have the most fun casting the Shogun. Only because something always interesting happens when these guys play. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's always maybe something for, like, a Deadeye from him or a Death Blossom. Especially Dar now in the mix. He's so unpredictable. Ryan is maybe the most aggressive Reinhardt I've ever seen, but it makes for great games to watch, and the fact that he's on controller as well just makes it 10 times better. I'd probably have to say the Shogun. If I had to pick a player, God, that's really hard. I'd probably say Jackson from the Nomads, Lateralis, because the kid pop off after pop off. We saw it when he was on the Mads, and we continue to see it when he's on the Nomads. We even saw it last week, like 4K rip tires left and right. So I think he probably be my favorite individual player, but team-wise, it'd have to be the Shogun.
Yeah, he's just a big play waiting to happen.
Yeah, right.
Glassman, what about you?
I think, in terms of teams, I don't know. It's really hard because I don't get to cast a Shogun, so I don't get the same opinion as Jesse on this
Yeah,
one.
that's true.
For once. But I've loved casting with all the teams, but I think the Valkyrie have been a really fun surprise to cast because they've improved so much. And especially with these harder games, it's definitely been a lot of fun to watch them improve and see what they can do week to week. And I think also a fun player to cast, Iago. I don't understand how he does it sometimes. I remember casting from home.
Yeah.
This is the first time I casted from home. He got, like, I don't know, 3 triple pulse bomb kills. Sometimes the man is just on another level, and it's really fun to watch, and it's really fun to cast. And that whole team is just a great team to be around.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely being, his coach on the Rocket League side of things and seeing him play is also extremely entertaining. So always fun to watch. So all those, great players, all those great teams to cast, and you guys get to do it, every single Saturday. So talk a little bit about what that has done for your nerves. Of course, most people think, getting in front of camera, it's going to lead to some anxiety, some palm sweating. But what do nerves look like for you guys, and has that changed, over the course of this year that you guys have been shoutcasting together?
I would say a lot less nerves. No, I think the first few times I casted were solo, that or with Jeff. I don't think I've ever been that nervous. I think there's like one or NAF maybe the only other time I was that nervous for a cast, only because like, all right, it's brand new people, I don't know anybody. And I think that first game, I think the VOD's somewhere out on our YouTube channel, I was a nervous wreck. I think compared to now, it's like, usually Colin and I, we hop in a call, unless they play first. We hop in a call like 15 minutes before, we BS, we do whatever we need to do. And at that point, once we go live, it's like, all right, we're like, it's just clockwork at this point. I think once regionals come around, and maybe I'm gonna knock on wood, maybe we get to cast NAF together this time. It was something we didn't really get to do just because they had so many games last NAF. There's probably a little bit of nerves, I would think, but I think just because we're so used to casting with each other, it's gonna be all right. Anything for you?
Yeah, as I said before, the first time I ever casted, I was nervous. I was crazy nervous. I mean, I remember the first map was Horizon Lunar Colony, which isn't in the map pool anymore, thank goodness. But I just remember, I think it was the magic that I casted, and the more I got into it, the more I realized and just talk about what's happening in the game, and just over the weeks, eventually when I got with Jesse, I mean, that helped a lot because, you're talking to someone else, you're not trying to pull just random stuff together all the time, and we bounce off each other really well, I feel like, and it's just been great, and the nerves have been honestly really low for a long time now.
Yeah, that's great. And like you said, Glassman, like you guys have gotten to be on stream, on cast with each other for so long now over the course of the year. So just talk a little bit about what it's been like, to work with each other as having each other as casting partners, going live every Saturday, from the dojo or from the long. What's it been like to have each other as a partner?
You want to go first on this one?
I mean, sure, yeah, why not? It's been great. I mean, as as we said earlier, it's been what, a year and 2 months now, something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
I've loved every stream, and it's been just honestly incredible to have a great caster who I 100% just freaking respect more than anything else, because he's just great, honestly, and it means so much he's able to cast. And we've had so many good streams, so many good memories over the last year, because just all sorts of crazy stuff has happened.
It's just, yeah, crazy play after play. I think for me, he's the first co-caster I truly have gelled with to the degree that, like, he's like a brother now. It's not even like he's just a co-caster. Like, we're brothers from, like, different families at this, like, even, like, even, like, the fact that we look like each other a little bit is kind of weird. But,
We actually do. No
like,
joke.
the fact we get along extremely well, we talk all the time now. We went to go see Batman the other day. It's like, that's what makes the chemistry, I think, for us even better than everybody else in XP League in general. Is like, we genuinely have a friendship outside of this that's really close, and it's just great to cast with him every single week. And I can't wait just to see, us keep improving as a duo. Hopefully the games keep getting better and better, and maybe one day we can cast the NEF, man. Like, that'd be sick to cast in Orlando. Jay, if you're watching, please. Like, and this is our plea. Even if it's just one series, I think it'd be the capstone on, like, a great, at that point, be almost 2 years of casting together, being able to cast an event like that. It'd be, I think, personally for me, a dream come true, and I think it'd also be really fun just to cast with this guy, because it's always fun casting with him.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, from a coaching side of things, from a partner side of things, I, of course, love having you guys on our team. So glad we have Glassman and Twinsalty as part of the Franklin Overwatch shoutcasting crew. You guys make a really great duo, awesome partners. Super thankful for all the hard work you guys put in. It's a lot of hours. We have 5 Overwatch teams now, so I mean, those are long games, long hours, and we appreciate you guys giving up your Saturdays week after week to shoutcast some of the best competitive youth Rocket League in North America. So super thankful to you guys. Want to thank you guys for joining us on this get to know you profile for 2 of our shoutcasters. Hope to have a lot more of these coming soon. Check out Glassman Twinsalty this coming Saturday. We'll have some more XP League Franklin games live coming here the next couple of weeks. And then also check out Twinsalty, now a Twitch affiliate streamer.
Hey.
So, shout out, check him out on Twitch. But yeah, want to thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.